Now, it hasn't been too long since Resident Evil had its last film, and since the last film has made a ton of money, and also the fact that the Resident Evil brand is one of the biggest brands when it comes down to the horror genre of film. And to no one's surprise, Resident Evil is already going to get a reboot. And now usually I would be like, oh, here we go again with another reboot, but in this case, I am actually pumped. And I know that there are a bunch of fans who will flop and defend the old Resident Evil film series, but I'm sorry, the old Resident Evil film series is quite possibly one of the most insulting, soul-crushing, predictable, downright ugly, unfaithful pieces of shit in movie history. Because these films completely butcher the source material, the films treat everyone like a bunch of dumbasses, not to mention the films always have inconsistencies, plot holes, contradictions, and it's just all around a complete mess. Now, what we do know about this new Resident Evil film series is the fact that they're already planning 6 movies, which on one hand is a bit of a gamble considering that these could either make or break, while on the other hand, Resident Evil does have a rich history, so there are plenty of Resident Evil stories to choose from and adapt. And what we also know about this Resident Evil series is that James Wan is up for producing the first film, and since he worked on Saw as well as Annabelle, he is very experienced when it comes down to horror films. And also, Greg Russo will be writing the script for the first Resident Evil film. Plus, this film will sport an all-new cast with different characters. And honestly, this is all great news. Now, what I want for this new series of Resident Evil films is just bring Resident Evil back to its core. Let the atmosphere do all the talking and have it be a straight up horror instead of making another action flick featuring all the zombies. And yes, it's okay to have some action sequences with zombies, but what I'm trying to say is just allow this new series of Resident Evil films be straight up horrors first and foremost. Because that is the strongest element when it comes down to Resident Evil, which is of course the atmosphere as well as the overall story from the original video games. And another thing I want from this new series of Resident Evil is just use the video game characters. And I don't mean just shoehorn them in just for the sake of it, just base this new series of films around the video game characters. You could use Chris Redfield or Jill Valentine, or hell, even if you start up with Leon Kennedy, I would be perfectly okay with this. And just have this new series of films be completely faithful to the video games. Maybe have some twists here and there, but keep it true to the Resident Evil lore. Hell, even Resident Evil 7 took a few steps back and decided to go straight up horror again instead of being another action piece. And it did wonders for that game, and I think doing something like that would be perfect for this new series of Resident Evil films, especially if they want to differentiate themselves from the old series. So are you excited for the new Resident Evil reboot? And would you rather have the horror elements of Resident Evil, or would you prefer to have more of the action side? Comment below and share some thoughts. And as always, thank you guys for watching this video. Please like and subscribe, take care and have a good one.